What's up guys, welcome back to the next video for the hack and slash tutorial series. In this video we're actually going to start and complete our first AI enemy, and it's going to be melee enemies. They're going to strafe around and they're going to attack. They're just running around kind of in circles, but you can modify those times. As you can see, this enemy lights up, indicates that he's about to attack. They're going to just strafe around the character, and when one of them, lights up, indicates that there's an attack incoming. And we can still attack them, and none of them is going to try to interrupt their hit reactions for an attack, which is good, because we do want that. Now, sadly, our player currently still doesn't play hit reactions. It's probably because we don't have any, I didn't put any montages in for that. But if you did, you probably would have hit reactions already. But for now, we have combat. If you guys want the project files, head to my Patreon, show me there. If not, stick around, we'll get this thing started, and I'll see you guys in the video. So welcome back. In the last video we worked on our AI who can chase and strafe, and if we run too far away he'll chase and then he'll start strafing or finding a new location and around the player and moving towards that location. And in this video we want to start actually working on implementing attacks for the enemy. So let's start with that. So let's open our base enemy and let's give it an attack. So let's see, how do I want to do this? Because if we make ranged enemies, we also want ranged specific functionality, so not all enemies would perform the same type of attack. So here is what we're gonna do. I guess, do we set our state here? Okay, so we're still gonna need to use state machine, so let's make a new event grab and call it attack EG. Make a custom event, call it attack, and we're gonna make a branch here, and we're gonna need a function called can attack. Now this function, determining whether or not the enemy can or cannot attack, should always be the same, so the gameplay is consistent. Turn value, and basically what we're gonna check is we're going to get our is current state equal to any, make array, and we cannot attack if we are in the attacking state, in the dodging state, in the dead state, or in the disabled state. So make a not boolean here, and we should not be in, so is flying and then is falling, or so if both of these is false, if both of these are false, then this will be false and it'll pass with true. But if it is, so let's not boolean here, not boolean. So if we are falling, this will be true, and then it sets to false. If both of them are false, this will be false, and then it will reverse to true. Okay, so yeah, that works. So let's just plug this in, and then we can remove the other pin, and then we can plug it in for the return node. Perfect. Now we're going to make this a pure function. Now in their attack, we're going to call can attack, and then let's see. Actually, let's make a function instead of an event. So let's delete this event graph. Make a function called attack, called perform attack, and then we're going to paste this in, and if it is false we want to return. If it is true, the enemy, the player, we're gonna code this section in the enemy, I guess, or we can actually do it on the player. You know what, let's just do it all in here, and then we can figure out the rest later. So what we're gonna do is in the perform attack we're gonna need an index, and it's going to be whatever attack we should perform, so integer, and then we're gonna make an array for attacks, so attack montages, and then we should make that in a montage, make it an array. We're going to get a copy of our index. We're going to check is valid, And then if it is valid, we set the state. Set the state to attack, and then play montage. And the montage play would be this. And here we're just gonna return. And then after we play, we return. So, yeah, so it's very basic. It's not a whole lot we need to do here. Alright, so we can compile that. Now we have to have some animations. So let's head over to our assets. I should have some animations for my enemies. Attacks, enemy attack. So we have two attacks for our enemies. This one and this one. They're very similar. I guess I'll use one of this. So this one. So I'll call it AM_enemy attack. Now we also need enemy reset state. Reset, enemy reset state. Should be at the very end. Save that. Now is rip motion enabled? Yes, now it is. Okay, now we're gonna add this to the montage. So let's select it. Boom. And then we also need to have weapon collision for our enemy as well. So let's also do that. So how do we want to do this? So actually let's so let's add a static mesh to our mesh, and then this will be our weapon, whatever. And what we're gonna do is make another function called draw collision, weapon collision. And we can just copy the same thing from our same code from our player. So let's go to blueprints, go to player, so for draw collision. Draw collision, we can pretty much copy everything down. So hit actors, and yeah, so we can pretty much copy everything down. We can move things as we go. So where's the event? Here's the event. So for sure we're gonna need a hit actor. We're gonna plug this in. Plug this in. What are the inputs? The inputs are end, radius. So let's see. This one would be our end. Second pin will be our end. Top pin will be our radius. Radius. Is that correct? Yep, that is correct. And then let's see. What else? Do we still need one more? Damage type class. Yeah, so let's also do that too. Let's make a damage type class input as well. Let's call, oh my bad, not an output, so make sure it's an input. Call it damage type. We also call it a class. Yes, we'll call it a class. So damage type class. Damage type main. Call it damage type main, and then we need the class reference. Let's see. We want to create a variable for hit actors. So we have that. That should be correct. That's correct. That's correct. And so here's the only different part. Our hit actor, we want to pure cast it. Cast to BP hack and slash character, and we're gonna make a pure cast here. And actually, we don't want to make it pure cast. We're gonna make it an impure cast, and then we can just cast it. We're just gonna do a normal cast here, and then we're gonna get the state. Get state. We want to plug it in here. It's not equal to dead. It's not equal to dead, then we can take damage. Okay, nice. So you take damage, random vector, yep, that's just the VFX, hit blood, damage type class, so damage type class, just to make sure this is the right type, yep. Now, will be, yep, so that's a damage vector, the amount of damage, let's create a variable for damage, and hit actors, add to unique, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Let's compile. Now we have we have our first attack, hit actors, and then damage. Let's put damage as 1. Now let's that's our draw weapon collision. Let's make an anim notify for our enemy to draw collision. So head over to our enemies folder, anim notify, am _ draw weapon collision, or am _ enemy weapon collision. Let's open up our enemy attack. Let's add it. So right around here. It's anim notify, so enemy weapon collision, boom. Right on there. Now we also need to set the so we actually need to call the function. So set draw weapon collision, and then we need to promote all of these to a variable. So promote to variable, radius, promote to variable, and then promote to variable. Make sure these are all exposed so we can edit them. And then here we're going to set radius to 50, and then we're going to have it end at probably 250 as well, maybe 150, maybe just, well, yeah, maybe 175 is a good range. Okay, we're gonna save all of that. Now let's actually check which. Let's see, let's open up our player mesh. Let's open this up. Now I'm gonna go head over here and we're gonna paste this in. And then, oh, this is our base enemy, so let's not do that on our base enemy. Let's open up a different enemy. So let's open our melee enemy. Find our player mesh. Then our mesh. So just open visual, it's easier that way. Melee enemy, we're gonna plug in this. Static mesh, we're gonna grab our static mesh. And what, wrong one, static mesh. And then we're gonna plug it in. Find a weapon socket. Base enemy here. So actually we're gonna have to plug in the character mesh in our base enemy, so let's do that as well. So here's that, and there's static mesh. Let's search for it. Let's plug it in and then search for a weapon socket, and then we are good, right? Yeah, so that's good. Let's just move them down by 90 and then rotate them by 90 or negative 90. Compile that. Enemy, same thing. I'm also going to change the locomotion. Should I? Yeah, let's change the locomotion as well. Or we can just keep it. It'll make it very different. It'll make it easier to distinguish enemies from player. Another thing we can do is also create a material instance. And let's change the color here from white to maybe a black color. Just like that. Go melee enemy. Let's plug this in, just so we can tell that's an enemy. Alrighty. Now let's plug this in here as well. See everything. Head over to our base, our dummy enemy, and do the same. Which already looks like it already been applied. Okay, good. Now let's see. So we already draw the collisions. Now we actually have to have the enemy perform attack. So the way I'm gonna do it is actually have the have a timer that runs, and then once the timer finished running, then we'll, you know, perform an attack. And the reason why I'm doing it that way is because instead of having so we're gonna set a timer here in the controller instead of the behavior tree. And there are other ways to do it. You can make a combat or fight director, but it's a simple way of doing it. Making a fight director is gonna be very complicated, and so let's just do it here. Make a simple way of doing it. So let's set timer by event, and the time is gonna be random time float, or random float in range. And the minimum is going to be maybe 3 seconds to a max of 8 seconds. And that's probably going to be common throughout all enemies. Maybe just push that up to 10. Let's make a custom event, so just call it right here. Call it attack or perform attack. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our behavior tree. So get behavior tree. So let's grab this in the event graph. And then what we're gonna do is grab behavior tree and set value as enum. Here we're gonna do byte to literal enum, and then we're gonna do e behavior. Did we search for that one? Let's search for e behavior states literal enum. Let's do byte to enum e behavior tree. Now let's just open up our behavior tree and just find it. It'd be easier that way. Right here. Just copy this. And we want to set our state to attack. So promote this name and call it state key name. So over to our Blackboard, copy the name, compile this, paste this in, and we're also going to set this timer to looping. So after it's done, it'll find a new time and it'll do its thing. Now actually what we could actually do, actually there is a better way to do this. Is it though? Because what I'm most worried about is maybe an attack take longer to 2 seconds and then this get called again. But I don't think that really matters, because if it does get called again, we're in the attacking state, the attack will not get cancelled, so I think it's fine. What I want to probably do is bump up this time, make it very unlikely it gets super low. Now let's see. We set the attack, and so what we want to do is strafing. Chasing is the least important, so we're gonna put that at the very back. But the most important is probably to attack, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna copy this entire node, delete this, and so if our current state is equal to attack, we want to abort self. We actually want to abort lower priority. So if our state does equal to attack, all of these would just cancel itself, and then it will head over. It will snap to this one. Maybe we just do both, because if our current state is not equal to attack, then we want to stop it too. So now we're gonna need another custom event or custom task. So ptt task, and we're gonna call it perform attack. And for our ranged AIs, if we make them, we can make another custom attack. So this one's gonna be perform melee attack. And on event execute AI, receive execute AI. We're going to get the pawn and we're going to cast to BP base enemy. Now what we're going to do is we actually need to head back to our base enemy real quick. So let's open up our perform attack, because there's actually something we need to do. We need to use the play montage node, but we can't do that here, which is sad. So we're probably gonna have to move all of this functionality into an event. So let's cut all of this, delete the perform action, and let's head over to our main event graph. Let's actually make another event called attack EG. Actually, hold on, let me think about this real quick. Because the issue is that we do need to return a delay. Because remember, as soon as this gets called in a task, this entire functionality gets finished and it will just continue on. And it will cause errors, so we need to wait for the animation to finish playing. So I guess we would have to do it in the main event graph. So let's do it here. And then we all have to set a variable. So let's perform it. Let's do custom event, call it attack. And then we need this, and we're gonna call this index. And this we're gonna play montage. It's skeletal mesh will be mesh, and then our montage to play will be our montage that we got, and then on actually no, it's not the right one. This is, we need montage to play. So we need get atom instance, and then we need search for montage play. There it is. So yeah, so this one. Now for return type, return value type, we need duration. This is the correct one. We need this one, and then now since we're doing it this way, I think we still could have done it a function instead, but oh well. It is what it is. Actually, we're gonna have to remove it to a function again. My bad. Perform function, perform attack. The reason why we need to have it in a function is because then we can just call a function and we get the return value instead of making a variable. So this is entirely my fault. Apologize for it. Let's make a return value here, and let's pass this in. There we go. Finally. And then here, return 0, false, return nothing. Return 0 as well. So there you go. Okay, now in here we're gonna do perform task, perform attack, perform attack index. We're actually gonna promote that to a variable and expose it. And then for this, we're gonna have a delay. And then when the data is completed, we finish our execute. And we're gonna take that to true. So nice. Now what we're gonna do now is add that to here. We're going to perform melee attack. Our index is gonna be 0 because we have a 0 index. We have an attack on the 0 index, and so once we finish, yeah, our state should be resetted. And once it gets reset, all of this stuff will get kicked in as well. So let's just make sure that it does get kicked in. So what I'm worried about is that our state will not get changed because we set it to attack and nothing's really setting to this. Well, actually there is, but if we're in the attacking state, then it's gonna get overridden. So let's not do this. So let's actually, we're gonna need some additional checks here. So what we're gonna do is, thank God we actually have the enemy, because we're gonna need to check for something. Get state, and then is current state equal to enum. So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna check if our current state is equal to attacking state, and if it is, then we're not gonna do anything. In fact, at this point, actually, we're not gonna do this. What we're gonna do is not equal to attacking. That way we can just run out the true branch. If it's not equal to attacking, we can run out the true branch. Now, in this case, we're gonna have a lot of branches. That's because if we're in the disabled state, we shouldn't be doing certain stuff. If we're in the dodge state, we shouldn't be. So let's make another check. If we're not in the dodging state, then we do not care about this stuff. Again, another branch check. I mean, you could actually just make a branch and just use ORs, but then in a case like this, it's better to actually have control of what is being checked and why, and what functionality should be called. So this is why I'm doing it this way. You could just have like a big OR condition. So if we're not equal to death, which actually should be first. So if we're not equal to death, we continue. If we're not equal to attack or disabled, if we're not equal to attack, and then one more, which is we, if not equal to dodge. So let's not equal to, and I hate how they don't automatically select this one. It's super annoying. Okay, finally. Now let's do our final branch. Now this might work. We might have some bugs, but I'm hoping it will work. So let's see, because once we enter, so once the timer gets called, if I can find a timer, yeah, so if the timer gets called, it only sets our behavior state to attacking, but it will not actually get called until down here. And so there's still that chance that it gets overridden by this. So hopefully this gets caught on. And when we do complete it, what we do need to do is actually grab our state. So state key, and we actually want to clear our state key and allow our so let's see, blackboard key. And what we actually do want to do is actually clear it. So clear blackboard value, because once we finish the animation, we want to clear blackboard value and let the service kick in and determine what the next state should be. But there's still that small possibility that it's going to get overridden because, like I said, we're depending on that task we called first. So let's give it a try and let's see if we run into any bugs. So let's open it up on a separate window and let's see it run. So now let's wait for it to, let's actually lower the timer. Let's put it to like 5 seconds, just so that we know when he's gonna attack, so we can keep an eye out for certain things. Okay, yeah, so he does attack. And he does clear the state. No, he does like attack like 100 times. Let's check here. Let's keep checking the functionality here. So once we wait for him to attack again. Come on. Come on, no, you want to attack? Come on. Why are you not? Why does he not attack? Is it because? Yeah, it's not because it's not looping. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. So let's try that one more time. This time let's keep an eye on the update service. See why he calls so many times. So he attacks. We do call the reset state, but it does attack multiple times. Super weird. Let's see. And it's like I said, we're gonna get some issues in that regard. So what we're gonna do instead, if we're not equal to attack, then we check all of this stuff. But this is really we get called that often. So what I'm going to do also is clear the state as well. So right here, we're gonna call reset state. So once we finish, we also should reset our state here and all our variables. Don't think that's a good idea generally, but it might help us fix our issue without causing any other issues. So that's good, I guess. Now another thing is I also want to move to the player first. So let's use our move to, and then our acceptance radius is going to be really close. Maybe like 100. We're gonna attack, and then boom. So let's give that a go. Okay, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, did he even try to attack? He did, but now something is conflicting here. Okay, let me try setting that setting our attack timer to loop again, and set this like 30 so it gets called more often, and let's give this a run. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna need an and boolean here, and our state key. We're gonna get enum, value is enum, and then we're gonna make it e behavior states. So when you make literal, so make literal byte, and then we're to e behavior states. Why does that not want to work with me sometimes? Okay, there you go, finally. And does this just work too? Yeah, boom. So these two just work together. Okay, now what we're also gonna need to rely on is that our current state is also not equal to attack. So not equal to enum not equal to attack. Now we're gonna also have to do the same with all the other ones as well. So Here we go again. This time we're gonna have to add and boolean. So we're gonna do a not equal to death and boolean. Put these two together. Cool. Pull this way back just so we can get some good space here. Same thing, and boolean. So not equal to disabled and boolean. Not equal to dodge. We don't have a dodge, so we can skip that one. Okay, now that should work. So we enter the attacking state, this should go false. Yep. So we hit the player, nice. And we still need to work on that, fix up that collision for a second. So we hit the player. Come on, I know you want to hit the player. Okay, now he does. Or not, now. Do you not want to hit the player or something? Let's see, our AI. Yeah, we are looping, so I don't see why we're not getting it called so often. So let's run it. Yep, so we get called for attack. We call attack. We set it to attack. Something is setting it back. So let's check our. Okay. Okay. Okay, what we also want to do here is make sure we are not in the attack state. So here we're not equal to attack. Not equal to attack. So let's try that. Because it feels like we're trying to step out of it. Okay, yep, now it just canceled our. Okay, we actually do not want to cancel this, so none. Unless another state kicks in, it takes priority. Okay, so we get hit, enter, you hit again, and then you enter the other stuff, yep, boom. Now let's fix up that collision issue. It's very simple, pretty sure it's just static mesh. That we need to set to no collision at all. Okay. Oh. Oof. For this navigatable acceptance radius, let's bump this up to 50. So we don't get that issue where he's trying to move to a navigatable area on the player. Still might be a bit of an issue where he attacks multiple times. Yep, there it is. Calls attack. Okay. Strafe now. Call attack. Strafe. So I don't think we should rely on this one. So let's remove this one. For the attack, we should only rely on the key, the state key. Now I don't think I even plugged the state key in. Oh no, we did. Okay, so that's good. For everything else, we should rely on it, except for the dodge because we don't have one for dodge. So let's try that again. Let's see. Okay, we attack once. Yeah, so that issue is probably not as often anymore. Okay, so the player still takes damage, which is good. So we don't have any issues in that department. Okay. Okay, so what we also want to do, so once we move the target, yada yada yada. So I think that's a really good spot. This stuff, yep, that should be right. Yeah, so let's check something else. Yep, Now, what I don't like is how we can't, let's see, actually let's abort self on this one as well. And then these ones, we also want to abort self. So let's check this. Let's check this. Does it still work as normal? Oh, we still cancel. Yeah, we still cancel it, which is weird. Because we should not have finished attack until after. Because we're finishing the attack or we're aborting way too quickly. And that's probably due to this, but we don't even clear the state until after we attack, so I don't understand. Let's see. We attack? I don't see. Okay, yeah, we attack, and our behavior tree isn't working, or our tick isn't really functional. So yeah, that's part of the reason why you gotta mess with the intervals here. But like I said, if you set it to very, very low, you're probably gonna get better results. But like I said, it's gonna, when you have lots of enemies, it's probably not the best. You can see we're getting really quick results here. When he attacks, it should also work. Mississippi. Should be attacking any second now. Timer's only set to like 3. Yup, it's get called. He got called, so I don't understand why he's not attacking. Strafe. Yeah, it gets called, but it's getting overridden really fast. So if we're not equal to attack, we should be able to enter the state. We could force it through another way. We can force it by setting a variable here to wait until the attack is played, and then we could continue. So that could be an option. Yeah, so let's try that. Let's set a variable called B, save attack. So our attack will be saved until, actually it's not, let's make a Blackboard key for that. So let's set value as bool. And we're gonna check it, and this one's gonna be save attack key name. And what I'm gonna call it is called B save attack, And here in the Blackboard, we're gonna add a boolean, call it B save attack. Open this up. We're gonna pull this out, and we're gonna hit save attack key name, or key, not name. Okay, so let's get rid of that name part. Call it Blackboard. Distribute Blackboard type, and then we need to grab it. Get value as well. Cool. Now what we want to check is OR. So if we are not in the attack, or if this is not true, so not boolean. Actually, both need to be true. So and. So we're gonna need and boolean instead of an OR. So let's plug that in. So let's see. Now let's give that a try. Let's see. That should be a lot better. I kind of don't want to meddle with this part. I'll set this back to like 0.3. Now let's open this up. When he attacks, should see a mark there. Oh, we didn't set the key, so that's probably why. Set save attack. Now here we also want. Did we also not set? We never even set the state here. It's probably also the reason why we've got some weird stuff going on. Here we also want to hit save attack. Save attack key. We want to clear value as well. And then reset state, we don't need to worry about that anymore, because the animal notify is definitely going to get called. Can pretty much almost guarantee that. And then here, when you set B, save attack. Let's give it a try. Check our tick. 20 attacks, we should get that. Yep, so that's a lot better. So it's working. Boom. Yep, and you can see the execution wire, it goes black out, it blacks out. Yep, and it goes back on. Yeah, so it's working. And let's check the behavior tree. Yeah, now that's much better. The attack plays all the way before he exits it out. Plays all the way before he exits out. Yeah, now that's what I call working. Player still takes damage, but he doesn't play any animation, so we're gonna fix that up in a minute or so, or maybe even in the next video. But let's give the player an enemy another attack. So let's open up our assets, animation, sword animation demo, attack. Let's see, enemy combo 1, enemy combo 2, 2. Animations, great sword, attack. Those are for the players. Attack, we have enemy attack 1. So let's give the enemy a basic combo attack, maybe. Yeah, so let's give him some of these attacks. Okay, so that one's probably gonna save it for another enemy. So let's actually use this one. So let's call it am_enemy combo 01. Similarly, we're gonna need the reset state. So let's enter reset state. We're going to also need a weapon collision, enemy weapon collision. Right around here, we're gonna need probably right, radius 50, end is going to be probably 170, 150. We can copy this over, paste it, right there, boom. And this one's probably gonna be left. I just double checked that I actually had a another thing. Did I actually set the variables in here? Yeah, we need to remove that. Variable should only be set here. Let's open attack montage. Switch enemy attack. And then we need combo. Enemy combo 1. Okay, now make sure this one has root motion enabled. Yeah, alright. So I also want to play that attack, but what I want to do is make it kind of like a chance based. So let's see, we're gonna have to make a custom one. Yeah, so let's make a decorator, and so decorator is kind of like our if checks. So let's make a new folder, call it decorator, probably spelled that wrong, but it's alright. BT decorator, and then we're gonna do chance. And so we're gonna override a function here. It's called perform condition check AI, and then we're gonna grab a get random or random integer in range from 0 to 100 if it is less than or equal to our chance. So for each variable and calls chance expose this, then we can go. Very basic. So it's just a chance base. If it's like 20%, 30%, 25, whatever, up to behavior. And decorator, we're gonna do BT chance, and we're gonna have a safe 100% chance for now. 100% chance that we play our combo, but then later we're gonna change that. We're also gonna add a cooldown here, and so what a cooldown does is that once we play the animation, we cannot play until the cooldown's completed. It's like your typical cooldown system. So we're gonna give it a 5-second cooldown, and then yeah, so let's give it a try, see if it works. So you should play the combo attack first. Yeah, nice. It is attempting to move. So let's see. We gave him a acceptance radius. If I drop that down to 70, 80. Don't know why he was stuck there. Didn't make any sense, but that's alright. Okay, just waiting. Yep. Okay, place combo attack first all the time. Oh yeah, that's because it's 100%, of course. And it's also a sequence, so that's probably why. So let's make it a selector instead. Now that should fix the issue. But now that we know this works, let's set it down to like 25% chance to play that combo attack. Now let's give it a go. So, basic attack. Basic attack. Yep. So now the enemy does miss quite easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to set focus. And we're going to focus onto the target. And then we're at the end, we're going to end focus. Or yeah, so end. Actually, as soon as we play the animation, we should end it. So we set focus and then we end focus. I think that's a better approach. And then end or stop focus. Clear focus, that's why I called it. Alright, now let's give it a try. So now if I run around, and it will try to face me before playing the attack. Yep, so now let's see. Now so we got hit. Let me try moving this over, see how that looks. I feel like it's probably gonna make the character spin around. Yep, as expected. Makes it almost impossible to actually. So yeah, I feel like this is a better approach. Of course, you can make like the rotation to target timeline like we did for the player, for the enemy as well, for like their combo attacks. So I'm gonna keep it as is for now. Now the last thing I want to do before I end this video, it's probably getting quite long, is to also make some attack indicators. It's not 100% obvious that he's gonna attack, so let's make some way for it to become obvious that he's gonna attack. Delete this in the attack EG if you didn't delete it yet. We're gonna make a custom event called add or start attack, and then we need another called end attack. So end attack. So or custom event and call it end attack. And we're going to add a overlay. So let's grab our static mesh and add overlay. Add overlay material. Set overlay material. Head over to our assets. I have an overlay, which is this one right here. You can copy that down if you like. It's quite simple. And then we're going to plug this in. And then for the end attack, we're just going to remove it. So set overlay material to nothing. And so the way we're going to play it is probably through the task as well. So here in the task, perform attack. Right here, we're going to set or start attack. Start attack. And then when we perform the attack, second we perform the attack, actually we can probably have it delay. So let's delay it, and then we have it end attack. The enemy's got this overlay material, so we can see that they're actually attacking. So let's see. It's probably hard to see with the black color. Okay, yep. Probably still not obvious. Yeah, it's kind of hard to really tell that the enemy's about to attack, because I mean, you could slow down, give it more anticipation frames, but that's a pretty good solid idea of how that might work. Now let's actually make a material instance so I can change the color here. I want to give it like a bluish color, maybe something dark that would really pop out, super darkish blue, and it will also pop out because the color is, maybe give it like a bluish color. I know that probably might not make any sense because it's an enemy and like danger should be like red or something, but either way, let's just give it something we can actually see. Yep, so we can still take damage while dodging, and I'm pretty sure that's because we never really checked our iframes. So let's head over to our damage. So damage EG. Let's check. We want to always check if we. So let's do a branch here. So branch. Get iframes. Frames. Get enabled iframes not. So now if our iframes are not enabled, then we cannot take damage. That's a basic fix, easy and quick fix. The VFX does seem to appear and work as expected, but yeah, so we don't take any damage anymore. I mean, it's still kind of visible to some level, I guess. Guess it's still some level it is somewhat visible. Now what we could do actually is probably set. So here's what I'm actually gonna do. So the end VFX is gonna stay there, but I'm gonna actually make another task. Make another task. Call it begin attack. So let's call it begin attack. So we can execute. Receive execute AI. We're gonna cast it to base enemy, and then we're gonna start attack. And then we're going to finish execute, and we're gonna make a success. So the way we're gonna do this is when we start running towards player to attack, he's gonna light up. So start or begin attack. That way we can really see it way beforehand. You see, he starts glowing up, so we can really see the attack now. And now dodging makes it easier. Probably. Now, good news is that the enemy doesn't seem to fight back while he's in the state, which is good, because we definitely don't want him to be canceling his other animations for an attack, which is good. Now he's attempting to attack now. Nice. So I really like it now. Now another thing is we want to plug in that random stuff in. So the random boolean, 3 seconds quite quick, and probably 15 is too long. So maybe right on there. So let's see. Does he attack? It is looping, which is good. 10 seconds feel too long. Oh, never mind. So he does attack. The only thing that's missing is player is not playing any hit reactions. Probably because we don't have any animations, but let's give this one last quick run because everything seems to be working and it's looking pretty nice. So let me give it one quick run, but what I want to do is probably spawn like 5 enemies at once, just so we get a real good feel of this. Ooh. Now I'll probably not have the enemies wait so long in the strafing state. Actually, maybe 10 seconds, not that long. So let me actually modify some stuff real quick. Let's open up for enemies, the AR controller. Let's bump this up to like 3. I like 3 seconds earlier, maybe 4 seconds to maybe 18 seconds. That's probably better. Now inside our behavior tree, I don't think I want them to wait that long, so maybe 2 with a deviation of 1. There you go. So they're gonna strafe quite often. You know, some of them might be colliding with each other, or you know, getting really close with each other. So I'm gonna attack them. Now the enemy does still try to attack the enemy, and they literally stay under the player while he's in the air. You can definitely do some checks here, check whether or not the enemy or the target is in the air, and therefore you should back away from them. But for now, I'm gonna keep it as is. It's probably not the best because there's that bouncing issue, but it's all right for me. But we pretty much almost have combat. The only thing that's missing is player not playing hit reaction montages. But other than that, we do have combat. Now, I really don't like this weight. So let's drop this down to like 0.5 with maybe 0.2. I feel like they're just strafing way too long. Just waiting stationary way too long. I don't like it. Also, I want to increase the radius for this. Maybe radius, maybe 600. Yeah, so also they're more spread out a little bit. Now the I don't get why the effects still play even though I don't take damage. Yes, I am taking damage, and damage so little I don't see it. Yeah, so we pretty much have combat now. Probably not the best, probably a bit chaotic, but we do have combat, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong about that. Nothing bad about having combat now, which is great. Oh, I want to also increase the time here, maybe to like 30, 25. But yeah, I'll let you guys mess around with those values. But we hit a pretty good stopping point. I'll see you guys in the next one.